Should you read a lot of books before starting a business? This is a very interesting question. I'm going to say not quite. Um, for a few reasons. I mean, it's the same kind of way like getting a business degree doesn't prepare you to to be an entrepreneur. Like there's just things that are different and things you kind of need to know before you can really benefit from that. Now, like any book, business books aren't particularly useful unless you're able to take the information in them and utilize that for some sort of practical manner. I mean, people say knowledge is power, but the truth is, knowledge is only power when it can be put to use for something useful. Um, so when you're just starting out, especially if you never run a business before, you're not going to know exactly what information in those books is useful and applicable to you, and what really isn't. And that's not to say that having a kind of a broad overview of what business entails won't benefit you, because it certainly will. But it's not until actually you get going for a little bit that you kind of understand what it is you don't know and what you need to know more of. Um, so what's more important, like if you're just starting, like you want to start a business, but you kind of aren't sure what the next steps to take, is you really need to figure out what business model you're kind of hoping to work in, and then go from there. And I actually recommend getting started. Business on its own is really a lot more straightforward than people tend to think it is. From the outside, you get going and you optimize from there. I mean, I sell courses on topics like blogging and email marketing, which are useful in most businesses, but I would never tell somebody who hasn't even started their business yet, hey, take these courses, because I mean, may be able to learn what the stuff means, but they're not going to know, like, okay, like how the hell am I going to benefit from this? Like, how do I use this information? It's just not very useful yet. And although a lot of the same business principles apply, regardless of what type of business you're running. I mean, if you think about it logically, like even if you're not running a business, you'll know that like selling like a writing service or a landscaping service is way different than running like a tech startup, which is also way different than running a restaurant. I mean, like the things that matter, the priorities, your day-to-day operations, they're going to be completely different. And so by narrowing down kind of what you're hoping to do beforehand and actually starting it, you'll learn very quickly exactly what areas you need to improve on, and then from there you can start picking up training materials that cater specifically to that specific thing, which will be a lot more useful. Now, later down the line, I highly recommend checking out some of the courses I have to offer if you're interested in any sort of digital marketing topics, which again, most businesses can benefit from, but I do recommend actually getting going with your businesses before making an investment. I will include links to those in the product description, or excuse me, in the description of this video, though, if you do want to check those out. And finally, if you are just now starting your business, I highly recommend subscribing to my channel here on YouTube as well, because I will be sharing lots of more business and marketing and entrepreneurship tips, and I'd love to have you as a viewer for those. Anyway, thanks, and if you have any questions at all, you can always leave a comment in this video or email me at james@jamesmcallisteronline.com. Be happy to help. Thanks.